Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Jason Morgan has always been a character defined by loyalty, choices, and the shadows of his past. For years, fans have watched him carry the weight of decisions made out of love, survival, or obligation. But just when everyone thought certain doors were permanently closed, new spoilers hint at a shocking twist. Britt Westbourne is alive. That single revelation could shake Port Charles to its core, but more importantly, it could shatter Jason's carefully constructed present. The question now is whether Jason can truly keep his emotions buried, or if old feelings will resurface with a force he never expected. Jason's history with Britt was layered, complicated, and far from traditional romance. They found each other at a time when Jason was isolated, grappling with loss, and seeking purpose beyond the mob and the violence that had always defined him. Britt, despite her own flaws and the baggage of being tied to one of the most dangerous families in soap history, brought out something different in him. They shared moments of vulnerability, moments when Jason's usually cold, stoic exterior softened. Many fans remember the way Britt could crack through his armor, reminding him he wasn't just a hitman or enforcer, he was a man who could love and be loved in return. When Britt was presumed dead, Jason grieved quietly, in the way he always does, burying feelings deep, refusing to let the world see just how much he cared. Over time, he redirected himself, focused on surviving, and on protecting the people who needed him most. Yet now, with Britt alive, the story forces Jason to confront a brutal truth. Can he really pretend those emotions don't exist anymore? Or will her return ignite everything he tried to leave behind? It's not just a question of rekindled romance. Jason's life today is drastically different from the man Britt once knew. He's been pulled back into mob conflicts, torn between family obligations and dangerous alliances. The Jason who might have had space for Britt, the Jason who allowed himself to dream of a connection outside of his blood-soaked world, has been buried under the weight of loyalty to Sonny Corinthos and the endless cycle of violence in Port Charles. If Britt re-enters his life, she won't just be dealing with the man she fell for. She'll be confronting someone harder, colder, and even more conflicted. Of course, Britt herself isn't the same woman she was when Jason last saw her. Surviving, only to be presumed dead, changes a person. She's had to fight battles we don't yet know, and those experiences may have left scars. Will she return with the same heart that cared for Jason, or will she carry a bitterness that keeps them apart? Soap operas thrive on transformation, and Britt's comeback could redefine her role not just as Jason's possible love interest, but as a force in the larger canvas of Port Charles. Now, imagine the ripple effect if Jason and Britt gravitate toward each other again. For one, Elizabeth Weber will have feelings about it. Liz has been through her own share of heartbreak, much of it tied to Jason, and though she's moved forward in different ways, old wounds never fully heal. Seeing Jason entangled with Britt again could reopen that chapter of jealousy, resentment, and painful comparisons. Even if Elizabeth doesn't want Jason for herself, the sight of him embracing another woman, especially one with Britt's complicated reputation, could stir drama that affects more than just their personal dynamic. Then there's Carly Spencer. Carly has always claimed she wants Jason to be happy, but deep down, fans know her connection with him has never been simple. Their bond is one of the strongest on the show, teetering between friendship, family, and something far deeper that neither has fully admitted out loud. If Jason leans toward Britt again, Carly will likely struggle. She may not say it directly, but the idea of Jason devoting himself to someone else, especially someone who doesn't have Carly's approval, has always been a thorn in her side. Viewers can expect Carly to insert herself, whether out of protective instinct or hidden jealousy. And let's not forget Sonny. Jason's relationship with Sonny is already strained by loyalty tests, betrayals, and shifting alliances. Britt's presence could complicate things further. Sonny might see Britt as a distraction, a weakness, something that could cloud Jason's judgment when he needs to be focused on business. Jason is always balanced between duty and desire, but Sonny rarely tolerates distractions that threaten the Empire. If Jason follows his heart, he risks alienating Sonny in ways that could fracture their brotherhood for good. From a narrative standpoint, Britt's return also raises questions about who kept her alive, how she stayed hidden, and why now is the time she's resurfacing. Nothing in Port Charles happens without strings attached. Was she protected by someone with an agenda? Is she carrying secrets that could topple enemies or allies alike? And most importantly, what role will she play in the current power struggles? If Britt holds knowledge that Jason needs, or knowledge that could save lives, then her reunion with him won't just be about romance. It will be about survival, strategy, and the kind of moral dilemmas Jason is infamous for facing. The emotional core of this story, however, rests on Jason himself. For decades, fans have debated whether Jason should be allowed to find true happiness, or if he's destined to remain trapped in a cycle of sacrifice and loss. Every time he comes close to love, fate rips it away. Sam, Robin, Elizabeth, Britt, the list of women who've been part of Jason's journey is long, but none of those relationships have lasted. The possibility of Britt's return represents a chance to rewrite that pattern, to give Jason a rare shot at something real. But the bigger question is whether Jason even believes he deserves it anymore. Jason has lived his life defined by control. He controls his emotions, his choices, his loyalty. He suppresses pain, hides grief, and protects others by putting himself in danger. Letting Britt back into his heart means surrendering some of that control. It means risking pain all over again. And for a man who's already endured endless heartbreak, the temptation to keep everything buried may feel safer than reopening old wounds. Yet soap operas thrive on risk. Fans don't tune in to see Jason play it safe. They tune in to see him torn apart, forced to choose between loyalty and love, past and future. Britt's return offers exactly that. A story that could redefine Jason's arc, reshape his relationships, and force him to confront emotions he's tried desperately to bury. Whether he gives in to those feelings or rejects them entirely, the drama promises to be symbolism too. Jason believed Britt was gone forever. Her return is almost like a resurrection, a second chance at something he thought lost. It's a theme soap operas explore often. The idea that love isn't really dead, that fate has a way of throwing people back into each other's orbit no matter how impossible it seems. If Jason sees Britt again, if he looks into her eyes and remembers everything they once shared, will he truly be able to walk away? Or will he finally admit that his heart has room for more than just loyalty to Sunny and Carly? The writers have a golden opportunity here. They can rekindle a romance that many fans felt ended too soon. They can explore the tension between Jason's hardened exterior and the vulnerability Britt brings out in him. They can pit Jason against his own instincts, forcing him to decide whether the past is worth revisiting. And most importantly, they can show that even a man who has lived most of his life in shadows still has the capacity to hope for light. Of course, this doesn't mean the road will be easy. Even if Jason and Britt gravitate toward each other, external forces will conspire to keep them apart. Enemies from the mob world, jealous rivals, manipulative family members, all of them will test their bond. But that's what makes soap romance so compelling. The more obstacles in their way, the more satisfying it is if they find a way to overcome them. Fans who've been waiting for Jason to get a true love story may finally get their wish, but it won't come without chaos. So when the preview teases whether Jason will revisit old feelings now that Britt is alive, the answer isn't simple. He might try to bury them. He might claim he's moved on. But deep down, Jason has never been able to fully close doors. His loyalty to the past, to the people he's lost, has always been part of who he is. Seeing Britt again will force him to confront not just her, but himself. The man he was, the man he is, and the man he still could be. And maybe, just maybe, this is the moment fans have been waiting for. A chance for Jason to break the cycle. A chance for him to prove that love doesn't always have to end in tragedy. Or perhaps the writers will deliver the opposite. One more heartbreak that reminds us why Jason Morgan is the tragic hero of Port Charles. Either way, Britt's return guarantees one thing. Nothing will ever be the same again. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for all of your updates.